Alrighty, let's get started with today's activity. So today you'll be working on your assignment, okay? And your assignment is broken up into 3 different sections: Boolean logic, transistors, and build it. In the Boolean logic section, you'll have to tell me how Boolean logic helped develop these logic gates, and the highest level you'll compare Boolean logic to binary. If you want to do this one here, you're going to have to do some of your own research. I recommend tackling this part of the assignment on your own time. The next part of your assignment is the part I recommend you do today. This one here, I will show you step by step how to do, and you can follow along and copy and make your own one. The way I'll mark this is when we come back next week, I will expect each of you to be able to explain to me how the circuit works, essentially in the exact same way that I'm explaining to you right now. Okay. The last one here will be you building the exact same thing in the Minecraft Education Suite, and you'll be using this to build some defense for your house. You can do this on the weekend as well. Okay, so task 1 and task 3, I recommend that you do both of these on the weekend. Okay, and then definitely do task 2 today. Alright, so to do task 2, you need to be able to go to Tinkercad. Okay, you're going to start a new circuit. Alright, once you have your new circuit here, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to explain how a transistor works. Okay, this NBN transistor. So let's zoom in on this NBN transistor. An NBN transistor is an electrical component made of 3 substances. Okay, this one in particular is made of an N-type substance, a P-type substance, and then an N-type substance on the other side here. You don't need to know what that means. Okay, if you want to know more about that, go study chemistry. Okay, well, we've covered a bit of it, but if you want to understand it better, go study chemistry. Anyway, the pins here are called the E, B, and C pins, or more in-depth, or whatever you want to call it, is the emitter pin, is E, emitter. The base pin, which is B, and the collector pin, which is C. Now, using my limited understanding of how this works here, I see no difference between the collector and the emitter. So I'm going to do a little test here, and this is going to be annoying for everyone because it's going to be slightly off topic. But I want to see if this works here. Oh, look, it does work. Okay, so my theory is still correct. Okay, so because this is an NPN transistor, that means I've got 2 types of material sandwiched next to each other. Okay, separated by a gap in the middle. Okay, and this gap in the middle is going to become very important in your explanation. Okay, so what you need to be able to tell me is that in a transistor, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get current to run from E to C, okay, but in order to do that, we need to fill the gap that's in between them. The gap that's in between them means that electrons can't move from E to C. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. If I hook my negative part up to E, and then I hook my other side up to C there, like such, okay, and I run my simulation, nothing happens. Even if I run this the other way, like I did before, so through this way, and again, we're going like this, Okay, nothing happens. Alright, tell you what actually, every time I build a circuit from now on, I'm going to leave each thing there that I spoke about. Okay, this way we can come back to them each time I need to talk about them. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is these are the two configurations that automatically turn on an LED. There is this configuration. And there is this configuration. Okay, so in both these configurations where it turns on, alright, we have the base being in the circuit. Okay, so in order for current to run through this thing properly, current needs to be running through the base. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by that. If I run either of these circuits now, through the other way. So if I go through the collector straight to the emitter. Okay, and this time we go through the emitter to the collector. Okay, none of these will turn on. Okay, so these are the way that the current should be running, but only one of them turns on automatically. Alright, so here's what you have to be able to explain. Current runs out of the negative terminal and into the emitter. There are two paths that the current can move down. It can either move down through the base or the collector. This time we're moving it through the base. The current moves through the base into the cathode, into the anode, and then into the positive terminal. On the other side, electrons leave the negative terminal. They enter the collector, and it can now either head to the base or the emitter. The base is the one that's connected to this, not the emitter. I know it looks like it's going through there, but they're actually not connected. So the electron path goes from the negative to the collector, through the base, cathode, anode, positive. Okay, these circuits work, okay, because the gap, remember that gap we were talking about? The gap is between the collector and the emitter. Okay, there's no gap between the base and anything. So electrons can pass freely. So let's come to this circuit now. Electrons come out the negative. They can either enter the base or the emitter. This time we're tracing it through the emitter, cathode, anode, positive, but there's that gap there, remember? So the LED does not turn on. Again, same thing from here. Electrons come out the negative, into the emitter, It's trying to go to the collector, but there's that gap still, so nothing can happen. So how do we close that gap? Well, this circuit here tells us how we close that gap. Okay? So, what we need are a couple of these things here. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. Let's do another one of these too. So let's say I now have something going into here. Okay, and it's trying to go to the collector, and it's trying to get to the cathode, and lo and behold, it doesn't work. Okay, nothing new there. Alright, but let's put it in our other circuit now. So our other circuit was, again, we enter into the emitter. Actually, you know what? Let's use a different color. Let's use blue. So the other one is we enter into the emitter. Okay, and then we're trying to exit the base. Okay. Okay. So let's see what that does, shall we? Ooh, nothing right now. So let's see why. Okay, so we know that electrons come out the negative terminal. So let's trace that first circuit again. Electrons should be coming out the negative. They should be entering the emitter. They should be coming out the collector. They should be entering through this cathode. They should be traveling through the anode. And then they should be coming to the positive. In fact, I can actually see the LED being a little bit on now that I pay attention. Okay, because there's a little bit of a leak through my gap, in all honesty, happening. Okay, and let me explain what that leak means, or where that leak comes from. So, here's the other circuit. I have electrons trying to come out the negative, and again enter the emitter. They can either go to the collector or to the base. But if an electron comes out of one battery, it must always enter back through the same battery. That's why when this electron came out of this battery here, it moved through to the collector. Because if it moved through to the base, the electron would end up at this battery, and that's impossible through physics, I believe, at this point anyway. So anyway, electron comes out of this battery, enters the emitter. It needs to get back to the same battery, and so the only path for it to take to get back to that battery is through the base. So it comes in through the base, and look, we get to here. Our switch is off. Okay, so I want to turn our switch on. And look, current can move through here, into the cathode, into the anode, and back through the positive. But, if you also pay attention up here, our other LED is also on now. Okay, which means the gap in our transistor has been closed. The way we close the gap in a transistor, okay, and the gap is the gap between the emitter and the collector, is that we have a current that runs from the emitter to the base. Okay, basically electrons need to be drawn through the base somehow in order for the gap to be closed. So remember, one of the things you need to explain to me is how do we close a gap in a transistor? And the gap is the thing that exists between the collector and the emitter pin that normally mean it's not on. The way we close that gap is we allow electrons to leave through the base. Okay, I hope that clears that little bit up a little bit. I'll be making another video shortly.